This podcast is sponsored in part by Coke, Am First, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, and Central State Bank.
Hey, it's Bubba, hey, Bubba, Bubba on the lake. This is Bubba, hey, Bubba, Bubba on the lake. Yeah, he's got it going on. Gotta come and check this. Talking people, talking places from Bubba's perspective. This is Bubba, hey, Bubba on the lake. Hey, Bubba, yeah, Bubba on the lake.
Hello, and welcome back to Bubba on the Lake. I am your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly the Rick and Bubba Show, Bill Bubba Bussey. I want to take just a minute before we start today and say a special thank you for all of the very kind emails, text, comments on various social media about the first episode and being back out there, so to speak. Very, very thoughtful, very, very kind, and Betty and I both were very much touched by it. Thank you. That did mean a lot, and we appreciate it. As a matter of fact, there's somebody, sending another one right then. It's the gift of encouragement. We talked a little bit about it. It's very important, and some of you have a gift for it, and we really, really appreciate it. All right, I want to get right into what's going on this week. As we're recording this podcast, we set the clocks forward again as we sprang forward. We lost an hour. And this thing, we have ranted about this for, 40 years now, and to no good. We're still tampering with the clocks twice a year. And to me, it's just an absolute no-brainer. I want to stay on daylight savings time year-round, period. I don't mind the sun being up at 8:30. I do mind being in total darkness at 4:30 in December. I've mentioned this many times before, but just to recap. We are the easternmost state in Central Time Zone. So in December, it gets dark at 4:30. I have relatives that live in Texas. I have spoken with them. It doesn't get dark there in December to 6:30, which is totally acceptable because the seasons cause more and less light anyway. But there are people that don't like this idea, apparently. I don't know who they are. I run into one every now and then, but even President Trump called it a 50-50 issue. So I want to bring this forward. In the art of negotiation, why don't we move it forward 30 minutes, call it even, and never change the clock again? Anyone? Anybody? Anybody on board with that? We can work this out. Matter of fact, there's more votes coming in as we speak. I really don't know why it's doing that or how. I'm trying to find that button. I'm not even sure what's beeping in here now. But couldn't we just land on that 30 minutes, split the difference, we'll call it even. If we're not going to get a win, really the win to me is not the time, even though I hate being dark at 4:30 in December, it's changing the clocks twice a year. A lot of the clocks change themselves now, and that is just dandy, but there's a lot of them that don't. And a lot of them apparently at my house are in difficult places to get to and require ladders. So it takes you a year, or an hour, I should say, twice a year, to get all these things set. And look, folks, there's more to this than we just think it's a bad idea. Everybody kind of gets that feeling when you change a clock, and there's a reason. If you look at the stats, and there's a lot of studies on this, but I will say the middle of the road is that when we lose an hour in the fall, heart attacks, strokes, and other ailments that send you to the emergency room goes up by 24%. Okay? Heart attacks, strokes, those kind of things, 24% increase the day after we tamper with the clock. In the spring, when you get, when you would add an hour, the other time of the year, you actually have 21% less problems at the emergency room. So I'm even confused now. Are we spring forward? In the fall, we fall back, we lose an hour. In the fall, the problem actually goes down 21%. See how confusing it is? It's just a nightmare. And when I used to work in the TV business and had to work overnights, when 2 o'clock hit, it was total confusion. You didn't know, you had to go back and relive an hour. You had to miss an hour. I can only imagine the problem that the airline people have when this happens. What a nightmare. They've already got to deal with time zones. Now you're shifting the time zones. What about people, and I know this firsthand from my wife, Betty, being a former nurse, the fact of people giving medicine in the hospital. You're supposed to get your medicine every 4 hours. Oh, my gosh. Don't you know that's a head scratcher? I mean, the nurses have this pattern down, and now they shift it an hour, one way or the other. Y'all, it's so archaic. I really can't believe, along with this gender argument, that we're still even discussing these. There's plenty of other problems out there we can fight about, argue about, debate. We're not going to run out of issues, folks. We got plenty. I cannot believe that this is still on the table. It's just bizarre to me. I can't get over it. I thought for sure we would solve this in my lifetime, and here we are, tampering with the clock again. And I don't know about y'all. I got one on the microwave. It's a nightmare. That thing, I mean, it's like trying to solve Rubik's Cube to set the clock. I mean, did you like that, Dandy Don? So, yeah, it's just, can we, consensus, I'm good, 30 minutes. I'm good. Can show of hands, everybody else, we all vote for that? Let's go for 30. All right, folks, we have a lot to cover today. We have an interview with my son, Hunter, coming up. We're trying to run my daughter, Caitlin, down as we reintroduce everybody from my family here to the podcast. And again, thank you so much for your support of the first episode and hopefully many, many more. So we have a lot going on. We'll be back right after this commercial break. And again, we thank these sponsors and we ask that you do too. You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
The perfect checking account does not exist. At least, not at a bank. At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. That's what you'll find at AmFirst. Only available for qualifying members. AmFirst is federally insured by the NCUA.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
Hey, folks, you're back. It's Bubba on the Lake, and sitting down with me is the lovely Betty Lou. Betty, how are you?
I'm good.
You
How
look
are
great.
y'all?
You look great today, as
Oh,
always.
thank you. I really just rolled out of bed, and this is how I look, folks. But anyway, you know.
And joining us as we continue to reintroduce our family to you is Hunter Bussey. Hunter, how are you?
Uh-oh. How's it going?
Good. Glad to have you.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So everybody always wants to know what you kids are doing. So catch everybody up. Where do you work at, and what are you doing now?
I work at Southern Immediate Care in Birmingham, Alabama. They have multiple clinics around the state. I help with their marketing.
And they are a sponsor here of Bubba on the Lake, and
They
we
are.
appreciate that.
Very thankful.
Yes, we are. They do a great job, and we're glad to have them on. And please let them know how much you appreciate them supporting this program. Now, Hunter, not only do you have that, but you have agreed to help me with Bubba on the Lake part-time, away from work. We're not going to do it during work hours, obviously, but at night and primarily on the weekend, you're going to help us out, right?
Yeah.
Now, what all are you? Can you edit? I guess we need to ask that
I can
question.
edit. Yeah, I can edit.
Okay. Are you pretty good with GarageBand, Logic Pro, all that stuff?
Yeah.
I use GarageBand a lot. It's just easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do Logic Pro and some of the bigger ones, but it's really not necessary.
Yeah, I used GarageBand in high school and college, and helping you with some things, and saw it used at the Auburn Network when I was there. So,
that's the thing. I mean, the new model for everything media-wise, even podcasting or broadcast or whatever, is lean and mean, man. You just it ain't like the old days,
No.
It's very everybody kind of separated. You're in your little pod and you do your kind of thing, and having the big building with a big work center and offices everywhere is kind of not the the model anymore.
That's obsolete. It's not a thing anymore.
Well, it really is, and as long as you can get everything done and shoot everything around online, it saves a lot of time. You don't have to get out and drive and do a lot of that stuff. So, Hunter, not only that, you're going to be helping me produce this podcast.
I am.
And there's a lot of phases of that. There's the getting guests in here. There's the preparing. There's the actual post-production of everything, which I will be leaning on you heavy for. But you also are doing some other projects too that I think are kind of interesting and kind of go with the times that we're in. Tell us a little bit about being on the Meltdown.
Yeah, shout out to Tim, Tyler, and EG over at the Meltdown. I enjoy my time over there. They just, it's a basic podcast, talk about mainly movies and entertainment, but everything else going on in the world. So, it's a good mix.
I met Tim, and I told him I used to listen to him. He used to be on Jocks, and then they had a show in the afternoon, kind of late, and I used to hear them coming in from the farm all the time. I'd go down there and bush hog or whatever on the way in. I would listen to them. They did a great job. But I had no idea. I mean, I knew they said he was a big guy. But when I met him, he is a mountain. I mean, it ought to be
about him like he's the Jolly Green Giant or
Betty,
something. I mean, every time y'all talk about him,
he's so tall.
It ought to be called the Mountain Meltdown. Yeah. I told him, I said, man, I could be a 1,000-yard rusher behind you. They'd never even see me. But I've watched the podcast. Y'all have a lot of fun. What are you doing on there exactly?
So I'm just, helping. I'm a contributor, if you will, along with some others like Brian Pavlik and others. So it's a lot of fun.
Now, I noticed that the episode I was watching not too long ago, you're the Star Wars expert, or,
apparently, yeah,
or movie expert.
Why am I not shocked?
What all boxes do you check on that show?
A little bit of everything. I like sports. I like entertainment, especially Star Wars. I mean, you showed me that when I was 5 years old and haven't looked back since. So,
yep, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We were at a junction where we were trying to move from Thomas the Train.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
And I had seen all about
Sir Topham Hatt, Percy and
Percy, and one of the problems, Hunter couldn't say Percy correct, so that was always a problem. That was always a problem out in public. But
that's a family show, y'all.
Well, I know, and this is a family story, but so I was looking for something to bring you along just a little bit so I could enjoy watching it with you, because frankly, Thomas the Train was wearing on me just a little bit at that point. So I did show you the Star Wars, and oh my gosh, you never look back.
Lightsabers of every color.
Oh yeah,
I think I ripped through those VHS tapes multiple times. And been rewinded, and they're about worn out.
Well worn.
I still have them too.
Oh yeah.
I think you watched them so much that the metal came off of it. I think it's just like a piece of plastic now. It doesn't even play.
And there's probably still holes in the carpet where you used your lightsaber while you watched.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, you had to have the battle while you were watching. So it was so cute. It was cute. It really was. And then you've also got this channel now, and I've watched you a couple of times. I like getting in the chat room and messing around with everybody. But
yeah, you stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah. But what is this channel thing? I know this happens, but I don't really understand it. So explain it to us. What's the name of the channel?
So the channel is just my name, Hunter Bussey. I need to come up with a name. I haven't gotten that far yet in the process. I'm just having fun with it at the moment. But yeah, just basically playing a game with friends or just playing by myself and just talking to everybody and what's going on in the world.
So I've heard about this. So you play video games. And you are online, and people can see you, and they can see what you're doing on the screen, and that's all it really is, right?
Yeah.
They're just watching you play video games.
Yeah, I stream it off directly from the console, which is a nice feature nowadays. Most of the time, you have to have third-party things. From there, you can just do it from the PlayStation.
So that's the other question. What's format do you use? What equipment? How are you doing this? Because I will get email. How's Hunter doing that?
I mean, it's literally my PlayStation, and I linked it to my YouTube account, and I just can go live directly from the console itself, and then I use my laptop as a second screen to be able to interact with the chat.
So you were telling me about people who did this and made like just bukoodles of money, right?
Oh yeah, bukoodles.
Like who are examples of people you want to be like doing this?
I don't know if I want to be like them, but they have a good business model. Like there's a guy named Ninja. I think his name's Tyler Balvins. I don't know if I'm getting that right or not.
Tyler the Ninja.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I'm ready for that boatload of money to be coming in.
Yeah, me too. No kidding. Yeah, but there's other people like Courage and a bunch of other people like that do similar things, but they're way ahead than I am. So
they just like call themselves Courage. Is that what you just said?
That's what his name is.
See, maybe you need some weird name like that. Hunter Buss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great name for you and being my son, and I appreciate it. But
it doesn't exactly make the brain tingle, I know.
Well, I mean, if you look at this model, I mean, maybe, you should be,
Why don't you call yourself Fierce or something?
I'm good. We'll go to the drawing board.
Turbo.
I like the big cat.
Yeah, the big cat hunter.
It's better than the other nickname, Big Cheese.
Yeah.
Well,
you could call yourself Einstein after our big cat.
Yeah. The
Games with
30-pound
Einstein.
monster. Yeah.
Yeah, but that name comes with a lot of responsibility if you're going to be Einstein.
That's true.
I am indeed not that. Yeah.
So, what is the next episode? What are we going to see?
I don't know. I'm still trying. I go with it. As I go. Whatever's popular is what I throw up there. If I'm feeling something that I want to show everybody, then I just.
What was it I liked? I liked.
You liked the Western one, the Red. It's called Red Dead.
Yeah. Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
So, what has been the most popular? Which episodes have the most viewers to?
I mean, the one that I did where you were stirring up chaos in the chat, me playing Red Dead and riding a horse around Mom like that. So,
well, I was
get back on the Red Dead.
I was just having
my most viewed stream.
I was just having a little fun trying to find you a girlfriend. That's all.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go into that here on the show.
No,
That's
we're
not. But I was just stirring it up, and we had several. I was shocked. Several ladies, young ladies, watching the stream that sent in pictures of their sister.
No comment.
Good grief! I tell you.
Well, I was trying to get your viewers up.
Yeah, well, it did. It worked. You stirred the pot.
I mean, the dating game and, all these bachelorettes and bachelor shows. I mean, they draw in the numbers. People love that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Maybe next Valentine's Day I'm assuming we'll still have this podcast next Valentine's Day.
But I hope so.
We'll use that as if Hunter doesn't have a girlfriend by then, we're going to have the first bachelor show probably not the first one on a podcast, but you know what I mean.
So you're going to go out and do all the production?
Yeah,
on
I
this?
guess so. Yeah, I was waiting on you to finish that off.
Who's going to be following Hunter around on dates, running the audio?
We don't have to do all that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, get a date. You know what I mean? Find him a Valentine. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying? Go online to find one?
I don't know. Just
heck no.
Talk about it on.
I hear that happens here in this part of the world every now and then.
I do too. Yeah, I don't know.
We may have to do a podcast on that.
Yeah, we might. Anyway,
you learn all kinds of things as you hang out here at the lake.
You do.
Have you ever heard the term "the freaks come out at night"?
Yeah,
the freaks are all on there. That's where they are. Yeah, no.
So what's going to be what game are you reviewing the next episode, and tell everybody where they can find it?
I'm not really reviewing them, but probably do a little. The best ones that I have success with is prop hunt.
Is what?
Prop hunt.
Prop hunt.
Prop hunt.
Now, what is that?
It's like just a separated mode within another game that we play, and you basically have the group of people that hunt the props, and then you have a people that are the props, and you hide around certain parts of the environment while the other team hunts you, and you have a time limit. It's a lot of fun, creates a lot of good clips. Have one up on my YouTube channel now that seems to
Can I tell you, I just like the football games.
Yeah, I do too.
I like them. They're easier for me to follow. I don't get all this where, the rifleman's going through the woods shooting everybody. I don't really get that one.
We're supposed to get a new one here soon, I'm hoping, with a better Auburn team on it, so we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this, from seasons past, it can only get better. Okay, I mean, there is a point where you're so bad, you go, well, it can't get any worse than this. Yeah. And so that's something to look forward to. And I know you're a big fan.
Oh, big fan. Big Auburn fan.
Well, Hunter, thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your help, and I hope that you're able to do everything with these audio files that you said you can do.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's going to be a real mess. and we're going to have a disappointed sales team.
No, yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Hunter, thank you for joining us. You'll be a reoccurring person here on the show.
Yeah.
So we'll get to hear a lot from you, and we're looking forward to it. I love you. I appreciate the man you've become. I appreciate your spirit, and you're strong in that, and that means more than anything to me as a dad.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Love y'all. If y'all are looking for my YouTube channel, it's just my name on YouTube. You know where to find me, and feel free to reach out if you ever want to talk. So,
Your full name, William Hunter
no,
Bussey?
No, it's just Hunter.
Bussey.
Yeah, just Hunter
Okay.
Bussey, Bussey.
Yeah, don't forget the E.
All right, you heard it, folks. Go on there. There they are.
There's the dogs.
Here
There's
they
the
come.
dogs.
We appear to have a lot of people come to the door here at our house. But anyway, we almost made it out of the segment. We were mere seconds. But Hunter, thank you, and we're looking forward to that. Check that out. Follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. You know the deal.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it. You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Where's Bubba?
I'll tell you where. He's on the lake.
When you need urgent care, Southern Immediate Care is here for you. Illness doesn't follow a 9-to-5 schedule, so we offer support 7 days a week at convenient locations throughout Birmingham and Northeast Alabama, dedicated to serving all ages from children to adults. Southern Immediate Care offers occupational medicine services, including DOT physicals and testing. At Southern Immediate Care, your health is our top priority. Visit southernimmediatecare.com or call 205-409-2794.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
All right, folks, we're back at Bubba on the Lake. This next segment is a recorded segment that originally I had not planned on playing. Our good friend Meg Wilson Bryant dropped by, and we were just playing with the equipment, working on it, seeing how it was going to work. And it ended up being a real fun segment, so I wanted to share it with you now. Here is Meg Wilson Bryant when she dropped by the house, and we were testing the equipment. We're back here at the Back Porch Studio, and joining us is old friend, my buddy. I knew her as Meg Wilson, but technically your name is Meg Bryant.
Right. I guess I could do like Meg Wilson Bryant.
Right, you could.
Better known as Mega Love.
Mega Love.
Yeah.
What a great nickname, Mega Love.
It stuck.
It says a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I may be Meg Less Love right now, but I was really Mega Love at one time.
So just to clear everything up, you're not married, you're not attached right now.
I am not.
So you're kind of looking, right?
I knew that was coming. Absolutely.
Well, I'm just asking for a status report.
I'm literally enjoying the single life and all that. You know,
this is not the personal ad show, Meg.
I don't want it to be. It's
you got
almost
to wait and
Valentine's.
come back for that.
I knew.
It's coming up. But...
And you know they did that to me one time. Bubba set me up to like have a blind. You remember that? Like a blind date in the studio, and it was awkward. But
it didn't go good.
I just think
his last name wasn't Bryant, was it?
No.
Okay,
that was
so
that was a different blind date.
Oh boy!
And also joining us, the lovely Betty Lou.
Hello.
Hey, babe.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm taken.
Yes,
you are very taken. She is not available, guys. Girl,
I have
sorry.
always said this, though. Betty Lou Bussey is one of the funniest people that I've ever known in my life.
I agree.
So this is a whole nother level.
And quite frankly, I think one of the luckiest, too.
There's no doubt about that. I think everybody knows that.
Oh, boy. Now we're in deep. The water may not be up, but we're in deep.
There it is. There's the first singer of the day.
Well, and we've talked about it. I said all along, Betty needs her own podcast.
She does.
And we had talked about Betty Say What, but we never really got around to doing it because we all had other jobs, and I couldn't get Hunter to do it.
Right.
So it became a problem. And
Betty,
but you know what?
Betty said was great.
We're in a situation now that we can, if all this goes well, we can scale it up. Betty can do her own podcast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Everybody's doing a podcast.
They are.
I mean, if you ain't doing one, you're the oddball out. I mean, it's like not having a tattoo now. You know.
Oh yeah. I don't have a tattoo or a podcast.
Can I tell you?
I'm just left out in the dark.
A great story
Count
that I shared with my family this weekend about when I got my tattoo on my 21st birthday.
Well, okay, first off, what do you have?
Okay, it is, I'm embarrassed to say, it was Dixie Dan's Tattoo Parlor in Atala, Alabama. And
sounds like a nice place.
It was my 21st birthday, and all of the guy I was dating at the time and several friends did not think I would go get one. So I really just, threw it out there that I would go get one in a heartbeat. Next thing I know, we were there.
Here you are.
Okay, I didn't know where to get it. I don't regret getting it. I got regret a little bit where it is. But it's on my bra strap, and it's just a little rose, okay? And so
Dog's excited about it.
Well, but here's the thing. My sweet little mother, who's come a long way since this moment happened, but my best friend Glenda had planned a huge birthday party for me, right? 21st birthday. And I'm talking about, how I throw a party. So we were going to have a party.
You blow it out.
And so Glenda calls my mom. She said, I think you should go ahead and tell your mom that you got the tattoo and just let it process. I was like, I don't know. So we called my mother. I'm talking about screams, wailing cries.
Not screams of joy
No, wailing cries of, you've changed the perfect body I brought into the world. And, anyway, canceled the whole birthday party. Was in the bed 2 days.
Oh,
yeah. No, yes, she did.
Oh, no.
It was like one of those things that was completely devastating.
So why a rose? What does that mean?
No, literally, Bubba, there was no thought to it. I was stuck. I was there.
Not an anchor, not a
No, I wish I had
airplane.
I don't even know
a
what
balloon,
if I could really think what I would get now. Maybe I don't even know what I would get, but it certainly wouldn't have been this.
When I think of a rose, I think of thorns.
Exactly.
Every rose
has its thorn.
Yeah, that's right. A kiss on the rose or something. Grave. I don't know that song. What is that song?
Betty, let's get our titles right before we start kissing things. Okay.
That was so amazing.
Betty, this is a family podcast.
It's a family podcast.
All right.
But you have a tendency, you really started off hot by asking me about the dating life. That will not take it to a family place, so we need to stay.
Well, I just wanted to set the table so people would know who you were and what you were about, and so everyone that stalks people on podcasts would know to contact you.
Yes, this is true.
You should hear what the ideas he had about us talking about marriage and whatever.
Well, I told Betty, I said,
we don't want people to be sick,
I said,
I don't know, y'all are a relationship.
We have a lot of options, and I said, if we want to really take this podcast to the next level, and there's 2 or 3 about good Christian marriage out there.
That wouldn't be.
But I don't think I can cut Betty loose with a microphone.
I was going to say, there is
so.
no way. She's one of the most, I love to be around her because, you love people that really don't have a filter.
Yes, and that is the case here.
It is.
Yes.
And so I just think that would be interesting to start a topic between y'all and literally just see where it goes. Because we have done that in our own just friendship. We start talking about something, and the next thing you know, it's...
Well, even though this is a podcast and it doesn't fall under the FCC regulations for broadcasters, I feel like we'd have to use that a lot.
I probably need one of those beep
I need that
in
just,
real life.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
100%. That would be every day.
Oh, like
But
down
is
at-
there a delay, or is it just straight talk? You won't have to catch it.
No delay.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's
What if
gonna
you're
be-
standing in
Well,
public talking to somebody and
Yeah.
somebody?
right on time.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That
Now
would
we'll
be
catch
bad.
it in
Big
post
dog time.
production probably. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah,
Hmm.
that Hunter might have to.
depending on how good our producers are.
Yes, this is true. There's a lot of pressure there. A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Based on our pay rate, it doesn't look good right now. But
Do you know
we'll
how
go from
good
there.
it is for me to see Hunter and Caitlin? I mean, because you were Hunter was a baby,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Caitlin was in your belly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we did that shower for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So I
You
mean,
sure
I've
did.
literally known them their whole life.
Meg, how do you like our studio?
I think this is the best thing ever, and I don't know. if
You'd hear a little breeze blowing because the breeze is blowing.
But that's
We're outside.
That's
We
where we
literally
want it. That's
are
where we want
outside, and we've got about a 90-degree view of lake in front of us, which is kind of nice.
This is this is going to be really uncomfortable for y'all when you get up in the morning to look out here and be like, I think Meg's on the porch again. Did anybody invite Meg?
Should I do the porch swing bed thing out here for you?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has
I
got,
thought
that's
you
got to
said,
happen.
I thought we wasn't going to cover that.
Huh?
The porch. Oh yeah, that needs. Hunter, how uncomfortable are you when it starts to go that direction? It's pretty uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine, with it
Yeah.
being his parents.
Look, he can't help he's got cool parents. Okay, I mean,
there's no that really. That
listen, I didn't have
cannot
that.
help.
I didn't have that. So it was kind of cut and dried
yeah.
at our house.
I didn't either.
Yeah, mine were
pretty
sorta
much.
cool,
I
but
don't know.
not-
My mom is pretty funny. She's 93.
she's funny.
She can cut loose. Yeah, but just recently.
Yeah.
It's like she came out of her shell in her 80s. You know what I
I
mean?
love that.
So
She does stand up for us at family events.
I think that
She's
would be
not,
try.
and she can't stand up. That's what's even funny. I mean, she can, but it's with a walker.
she does
you
a
know?
semi stand up.
Yeah. You ever seen a comedian with a walker? And I mean, really
yes,
need it.
yes.
It's not a prop.
I love. You could probably really sell tickets to that show. I mean, I think that's what people are missing. They don't want it so produced that it's not real anymore.
Well, this ain't real.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
But it is,
Or
if you know what I
it's
mean.
a-
Yes, there's going to be
Really
a
real. Yeah.
huge demand for this.
If
stuff.
you've heard her bit about the chicken in the movie, it's quite the showstopper at the family events. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh,
But I
me.
love that so much. Those stories have got to be told. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair for you to keep them to just yourselves and
Yes.
your family.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
There's like an
It's
extended.
unfair, quite
Yes.
frankly.
It's just
it is.
really
It
unfair.
really is. But I can tell you do get your personality from her if you're saying that.
Oh, yeah.
But what makes Betty?
Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
More
what makes
her
Betty,
than her dad.
Betty to me though is
Her
that
dad
she-
was a little harsh.
She doesn't
He was a
know
little
how
rough cut. You know.
Well,
You don't know how funny you are. I mean,
Oh.
like you're just being yourself, which is
And see, I get to see it all the time.
I know.
And I feel guilty that I'm hoarding it all. And I think the world needs to be involved in this a little bit.
in the words of Clark W. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, it is.
Or was it
Yes,
Eddie
it
that
is.
said that?
That was
it
Eddie.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yep.
So tell us, since you're dropping by to visit, and we're glad you did.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends that drop by are now going to be on the podcast. That's how we're going to schedule guests. Oh, look, a new guest is coming down the driveway. Who
I
is
know.
it?
Well, you need to forewarn them about what that means coming down that driveway.
Yeah, it's a religious experience.
It was. Really
You got to
one-
have faith.
It was really one of the strangest feelings because. So for those of you who don't know and don't need to know, because we need to protect, besides just any randomly somebody would come up, but you go over the top of the driveway and you can't see down. So it's a literal
leap of
It's
faith.
a leap of faith.
It is.
Over the hood of your car, you see the hood of the house and the lake.
Yes.
And you can't tell where you're going.
No.
So
You don't know if you're on the driveway.
Yeah, you just kind of ease over, and it's like a teeter-totter.
It
You go
is.
down, and then
Yes.
you see where you're going, and then you drive on down.
Do you remember that ride at Six Flags, the free fall?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it would
Yeah.
go up,
Oh, yeah.
click,
Yep.
click, click,
Yeah.
click, click, and then it
And
would.
then it pause,
So
and then-
that's kind of
Yeah.
that's the emotion.
How
I
did it
had.
go?
Sorry.
Say it again.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of
Betty,
dropped
we've got
you.
to get her not to do sound effects right into the microphone. But
Okay.
hey, look, it's learning.
No,
well,
how's
listen,
that?
we were trying to take
That's-
some pictures out here yesterday. And Betty is from the I take pictures with my girlfriends, and none of us
Yes.
want to look, overweight or
Right,
anything.
right.
So she's on her tiptoes holding the phone like 100 miles high. And I said, Betty, that may work for the girls. It's really not our shot because I'm under an umbrella now called my hat. you can't see me, or you need to get down here.
It is a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different
I had no idea. I
deal.
needed a
It's
lesson on picture taking before I got out
just
here.
like when we were having our pictures made a second ago,
Oh,
I
I
said
know.
that's not my angle,
Yes.
and I didn't. That
Yeah.
was such a diva thing to say. I had no idea.
No, well,
not my
I'm
angle.
wondering if my foot should have been out a little bit more.
No, it was perfect. It was the second shot was perfect. We had to
I'm
get
gonna
Hunter
have
to
to-
revisit
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be back in just a second. Meg Bryant Wilson, or whatever she's called now, is here, and
Megalove.
she's
Just
our
call
guest,
Megalove.
better known as Megalove. She's here with Betty and I, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be right back.
At Central State Bank, we believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
It is Bubba on the Lake, and thank all of you for tuning in and being part of this podcast. Now, we're going to go ahead and hold the show and wrap it up right here. I have another interview, but it's going to run us way long, and I don't want to get into that here. I do want to thank all of you again for your support. We ask that you go out and subscribe, like, follow, do all that stuff that you're supposed to do online. That will help us out greatly as we continue to grow this podcast and be able to bring more and more things to you. We got some really cool interviews coming up on the next few episodes. We don't want you to miss a minute of it. I thank Hunter for stopping by, Betty as always being a part of the show, and Meg Wilson Bryant, better known as Mega Love. Meg is going to be helping us too some on the side, and we appreciate her. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, love you, and we will talk to you again the next time we sail into port.
You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Hit me bad.
A production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees.
All rights reserved.
This podcast is sponsored in part by Coke, AmFirst, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, and Central State Bank.
At Central State Bank, we believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.